Hi all, and welcome to our latest set of work, our remote work for A-level politics. I hope you're all doing really well. May the 4th has been with you, and now we're moving on to our new work for May the 5th. So we're starting a new topic today, which is liberalism, and this is from the political ideas bit of the spec. So we're going to do liberalism, socialism, conservatism, which all go on paper one, and then we're going to move on to our non-core ideology, which is nationalism. We're going to spend a couple of weeks on each one going through, and then we're going to look at the types of questions and things that you might get asked. So this is our first week on liberalism. So you're going to have a range of resources. I will email you a liberalism booklet. You'll be using the political ideas section of Alan History Nerd. See the picture of the playlist above and a link to it on the screen. There'll be a liberalism, the basics worksheet to fill out as well. And then obviously there's also going to be a little bit of pre-tube this week. So they're the key resources, and you'll get the bulk of those on an email from me. The first task is to watch the Liberalism's The Basics video that I've created, where I introduce the topic. And you're going to do a couple of things whilst watching that. Pause it, stop it, go back to bits. You're going to create a spider diagram. I'll have a look at an example of that in a second, where you're going to put information about liberalism on there under some different topics. Make sure you do this leaving yourself some room, because you're going to go back to this in task 5, having done some other work. I want you to think about a couple of key questions. One is I want you to think about how important liberalism is in modern Britain. So are you seeing ideas in here? Now, this isn't about the Liberal Party, the Liberal Democrats. This is about liberalism, the idea, the concept. And it might well be that you can see it present across all the major parties. You might not see huge amounts of it in the major parties. That's one of the judgments that you're making. And also think about the stuff that we've done in terms of government. Is our system, does it seem to be based around liberal principles? The second one is more just kind of a bit of individual bit to think about. So are you a liberal based on the ideas in here? And again, this isn't asking, are you a liberal Democrat? There's not what we're looking at. Is, are you a liberal? Do your ideas about politics, your political ideology or philosophy, does it fit with the liberal ideas that are on here? I just want you to write a short paragraph explaining it. Again, leave room, because you're going to go back to this once we've done the other tasks. Right. So I talked about this spider diagram. So when you're watching the video, I want you to have the spider diagram in front of you. So liberalism in the middle, human nature, society, economy, and state. Now you'll get a bit on all of these in the basic video, and so you can have made a start, and start to have your initial ideas. You'll do some other tasks, and then you'll come back to this, because later on you're going to watch individual videos on these different elements. Right, I want you to do a bit of pre-tube, which is kind of a bit of introduction to liberalism. I only want you to watch the first 2 videos on this and do the worksheets. It's in a different section of pre-tubes. When you go into pre-tube, you need to go into the bit on political ideas. Task 3 is using the booklet, and I've shown tasks 1 and 2 on the slide above me. So you're going to read pages 1 to 4. You're going to complete task 1 on page 5, read pages 5 to 7, and then complete task 2 on pages 7 and 8. So that should be fairly straightforward, and there's a little bit of a potential bit to help you get started on task 1 on the screen above me. Right, this is the bulk of the task this week, is task 4. So there are a further 4 videos here from Alan History Nerd to watch. So one on liberalism and human nature, one on liberalism and society, one on liberalism and the state, and one on liberalism and the economy. In the booklet, you'll see that these are essentially going to help you complete tasks 3 to 10 in the booklet. And I've got the links and then some little screenshots of what the thumbnails of those videos look like. So you're going to be watching those videos. You're going to be filling in the booklet, and that'll take you all the way through task 3, all the way through to the end of task 10. And hopefully that'll mean that you've then gained a really good understanding of liberalism. I then want you to essentially go back to task 1. What you're then going to do is you're going to add to your spider diagram. You're going to add extra information in, things that you've picked up through doing the other tasks. You're going to think again about how important liberalism is in modern Britain. Add any further thoughts you've got. Try do it in a different colour so you show the stuff where you were at the beginning of the week and where you were at the end. Try to add reference into the state, the economy, and to society, and the different bits you see on that. And again, I want you to revisit that short paragraph that you wrote in task 1 and add to it about whether you have changed your mind at all. So have you, the bits you think, well, actually, I didn't think this was where I was politically, but I can see now, having learned a bit more about it, that it has a bit of an influence on it. And we're going to do similar tasks to this as we look at the different ideologies. Right, so that's the key work for this week. There is more on liberalism on Alan History Nerd, and the bit that we're going to move on to with liberalism next week is we're going to look at the different types of liberalism, and also we're then going to move on to the key thinkers. So we're getting really the basics, the solid understanding of the ideology and how it works this week. Next week, we're going to dig a little bit deeper, and we're going to look at the different types, the classical liberalism, modern liberalism, and then all the way through to neoliberalism. And we're also going to look at the 5 key thinkers. And when it comes to writing exam questions on this part of the spec, you have to be able to bring in those 5 key thinkers. If you want to get ahead of the game, then there is a video on the different types of liberalism, and there is a video on the key thinkers, and we will be using those in work next week. Also on the same playlist, there is now starting to be some videos on socialism that you might have heard me mention or talk about, and they will make up the kind of the basis of the work that we'll be doing week after next when we move on to socialism, having done liberalism. Hope that all makes sense. It's a new topic, so this might well be something that generates questions. Please make sure that you either use the comment section on here or contact me, and I can help you out with any bits that you are struggling with. Right, thanks for watching, guys. I shall speak to you all soon.